Recently, I discovered this interesting technique for speed reading, where the text appears with just one letter at a time with the center letter highlighted. The goal is to reduce eye movement, which can increase reading speed. So I decided to make a speed reading app for my next project. The first step was to find some good reading material. So I went to Project Gutenberg, a website with over 75,000 free ebooks. And I found Treasure Island. I clicked on the plain text of the book and copied it to my project folder. In order for my app to be able to read this document, I had to find a way to parse the text into a format that my app can read. I felt like the best place to start would be to split the text into chapters. In Treasure Island, it appears that chapters are simple Roman numeral characters. I thought about coming up with a complex parser to split up the chapters, but then I looked at some other ebooks on Project Gutenberg, and it wasn't consistent. So I came up with a hybrid solution with both manual and automatic processes. First, I found each chapter and added double bracket tags at the start of each chapter. This required quite a bit of manual edits. I thought about having AI do this, but it would require a lot of tokens to do this, and it was simple enough for me to do, and I was able to get it done in about 5 minutes, so it really wasn't a big deal. Then I began working on my parser. To start things off, I decided to write the parser as a Node.js script, but later I will add it to my app as a web script, so it can accept uploaded files. But for now, I'm just doing this in Node to get started. The book title and author were easy enough to extract. I just searched for the title colon and author colon and then get the substring. The chapters were a bit more tricky, but not too bad. I just searched for my custom tags, the double brackets, and I have to save the location and find the start of the next chapter to get the chapter content. After grabbing all the chapters, I saved them as JS files. I thought about saving them as JSON, but this simplifies the dev environment since you can't load JSON files without a server. This way I can just include the JS files directly in my index.html. Next, I added an index.html and main.js, and then just logged the book data. I verified that the number of chapters is correct. Then I wrote the basic reading application, using one word at a time centered with the center character highlighted in red. I added a delay to 300 words per minute, with additional delays based on punctuation. The next thing I added was a menu system for selecting books and chapters, as well as loading and saving bookmarks and setting your reading speed. You can also set your reading speed by pressing up and down arrows while reading. I also added a pause menu, which you can access by pressing the space key that shows the full line and your progress. The user can manually cycle through the words using the left or right arrow keys. Finally, I added support for uploading books as raw text files. And then I saved the book content to IndexedDB using a JavaScript library I created earlier for my pi.js editor. When I first encountered this speed reading technique on a YouTube short, I had high expectations that it would deliver a massive boost to my reading speed, especially since I could follow the video's demonstration up to an astonishing 1,200 words per minute. However, this turned out to be a bit of a false expectation. The example text used in the video was very simple, easy to follow, and highly predictable, which made tracking the rapidly appearing words deceptively easy. When I applied my app to classic literature, the same results didn't hold true. While I did notice a slight improvement in my reading speed using the application, it was nowhere near close to the 1,200 word per minute mark. Despite this gap between expectation and reality, I'm still happy with this exercise. It was a good experience building the app, and I'm satisfied with the final product, even though it's unpolished. I've been using it to read Treasure Island and fully intend to finish the book using this method, but that will likely be the extent of my regular use. Ultimately, it was a nice experiment that gave me practice building a user interface in a retro environment with pi.js. You can try it out yourself if you want. The links to the app and GitHub page are in the description. Thanks for watching.